Welcome to Vlogmas 2025 on Jamie Chaotic, where every day from December 1st to the 24th, I will be decorating and decluttering one area of my home, because 'tis the season to decorate, shop, host parties with friends and family, and be otherwise drowning in the stress, mess, and chaos of the holiday season. I hope the videos of me getting my shit together can provide you with some decluttering motivation and a few moments of relaxation during these trying times. Thanks for watching. Now on to today's mess. I am so excited to show you guys this episode. This has been what we have all been waiting for, the grand Billy Bookcase shuffle. This has been a long time coming as far as Vlogmas episodes go. I think we're on episode 8 now. But in real time, I did this whole thing in 4 days, including painting the wall, all of the decluttering, moving the bookcases out of the office, all of it. Taking Brody to the doctor to get his broken arm wrapped up, which you will see here in a second. Yeah, there was just a lot going on. And while we are doing this on this night, the neighbor kids are over having a French fry and chicken tender picnic in our living room. So once again, we're doing a voiceover. Blake was just taking pictures to send to the neighbors to be like, look at how cute our kids are. We love having them over, and they were watching K-pop Demon Hunters. So if you are familiar with that, you can imagine how loud and rambunctious it was in the background with lots of singing. And yeah, it was really cute though. So it was kind of like a fun thing going on in the background while I'm doing this. And oh boy, was this a lot of work. This was actually felt like the most work out of everything, because I had so much stuff inside this cabinet that I had to take out. And I could not move it with anything in it. There was just absolutely no way I was going to do that. So I really had to empty out everything. And it got to a point where I was like, where the heck am I even going to put all this stuff? Because I couldn't put it just all over the living room floor because there was a bunch of little girls in my house and my own kids. So yeah, that just wasn't going to happen. So I ended up getting some totes, and I put some stuff in the kitchen. It was everywhere, really. Blake had to take off the anchors out of the top that were, because we had these things anchored to the studs because this is earthquake country and you just have to do that. And I thought that maybe I could just move the one cabinet, like slide it out before I had to unload the other one. And no, I couldn't do that. So I had to completely unload the other cabinet as well. My phone kept running out of storage while I was doing this as well. So I had to keep going upstairs and offloading my videos onto my computer. And you will see some strange cuts every now and then where it's like all of a sudden we fast forward and a lot more has done. It's not too bad, but it did happen on a couple times where it's like, oh, it stopped recording and I had no idea. So anyway, it was a lot. This was a lot of work, and filming it made it kind of harder. So yeah, it just took a lot of time and it was a lot of work, but oh my gosh, was it so worth it. We have been living with this for almost 2 weeks now. Yeah, just about 2 weeks now in real life time. And I'm just ecstatic about the way it turned out. Here you're gonna see us moving in the final bookcase. Just to recap, those 2 taller bookcases came from my office, and what they are Billy bookcases from IKEA, and these ones have extenders on the top. That's why they're taller. I also decided to remove the extension cord that I was planning to put back there because it was just way too bulky and making them stick out too far. But those extenders on top, the first plan was to buy 2 more extenders and add them to the middle pieces. But you will see here in a minute that I changed my mind about that because it's my prerogative to change my mind. All right, well, we had to take a break because Mr. Brody broke his arm. We had to go to urgent care, get an x-ray. Turns out it's broken. So we had to leave the house in some disarray last night. Yeah, how you feeling?
Not that bad.
Not that bad. He was pretty excited to see the x-ray of his bone. That was cool, right?
Yeah.
And you're excited to tell all your friends at school that you broke your arm?
Yeah.
He's a little bummed out. You got 4 weeks in a splint.
And now I can't play Roblox.
Can't play Roblox with one hand, I guess. I think you can figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the update on there. Now we're gonna get back to work. You can go back to doing what you were doing. Thank you,
Alright,
sweetheart.
Mommy, now turn it off right now, then I'm going to put my hand on it.
Go ahead. Yeah, so I get the Mother of the Year award for thinking that my kid's painful arm just wasn't that bad. And he just kept complaining and complaining about it. What happened was he was running around outside late one night and tripped and fell, came running in screaming, saying, I broke my arm, I broke my arm. And we looked at it. It didn't look too bad. It was maybe getting a little swollen. We put some ice on it, but there's no bones sticking out, and it wasn't turning purple or anything. It just didn't look the way I would expect a broken arm to look. It looked like maybe he had just sprained it or pulled something, had him go to bed. Then the next day was like all of this that you saw me doing, painting the wall, having the kids over, like all of that was happening on the same day. And meanwhile, he had a broken arm the whole time. So he just, throughout the day, he kept saying that it was like feeling worse and he couldn't move it this way and couldn't move it that way. And I'm like, forget it. I just got to take him to urgent care. And yeah, it turned out it was freaking broken. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad. And he gets away with just having a splint or a brace on it for 4 weeks. We are still waiting to see an ortho. It's been 2 weeks already and we can't get in. And it's been really hard to make the appointment. But anyway, enough of that. Yeah, so Brody broke his arm in the midst of all of this. So it definitely threw a big wrench into things. And now we will go back to our regularly scheduled program. But before I get back into the video, I also wanted to talk about the door options really quick because I went back and forth on this so many times. I did 2 posts in my community tab here on YouTube asking your opinions. And so for those of you who didn't see those posts, I just want to show you what I was agonizing over. In my mind, I was debating between 2 different options of doors. Either these white doors with the glass panels on them and then add more glass panels up to the top using the extenders that were on the bookcases that were in the office. I would be buying 2 more extenders and adding glass doors all the way up across the top to look like this. That was option number 1. The second option was using those extenders, we could do solid doors on the upper and the lower sections, and that would leave an open display shelf in the middle. And I actually like the idea of doing brown wooden doors for that because you can kind of see a sliver of our kitchen next to this room, and the doors kind of closely match the kitchen cabinets. So it would look more like an extension of the kitchen. And I would have a lot more closed storage to hide ugly kitchen things. If I was going to be doing all of the glass door storage, then I would not be putting ugly kitchen things up there. I would have more display space for my Pyrex collection and my Catherine Home collection and all of that kind of stuff. And I would hide the kitchen ugly stuff just down in the bottom sections. So that is what I was debating. And the real debate was, do I want more closed storage for ugly things or more display storage for my beautiful things? So I'm still pondering it at this moment as I'm about to start recording more video, but it actually worked itself out really well, and you will understand why in a minute. So this is what we have decided. Instead of adding more extenders to the top, we took these 2 off. I'm a little sad to lose that extra row of storage up there, but part of the reason is because of this stupid uncentered chandelier that we can't do anything about. It would block everything really badly anyway. So rather than buy 2 more extenders and then doors for the whole thing, or the other options that I was debating, we figured let's just do the easiest, simplest thing first and just take the extenders off. I'll keep them in my office in the closet somewhere, just in case someday I do want to add them all the way up on top. But then that way we don't have to buy 2 more extenders and 8 doors, 8 little doors for up there. Or the other option was if the extenders were on there, then like there'd be upper doors up here and then lower doors and then 1 open shelf. I can only do that design if we have the extenders on top. And I think we were leaning towards the glass doors anyway. Blake likes the idea of having more display space. Also, I understand that these shelves are not even. I'm gonna move that one down, don't worry. So I think we're gonna leave it like this. Now the question is, do I want more of these doors on the sides, or do I want solid all the way top bottom? Because I think that would look fine too. Here's me cutting in one more time about my thought process on this one. I did not like the way this looked with the little doors on top. So if we were doing the extenders, I didn't want to do solid doors on the sides because it had to have glass doors on top. They don't have solid versions of the little doors for the extender section. So it had to be all glass or just completely open on top, which that was not going to happen because that's kind of the whole point, is I don't want anything dusty and greasy anymore. So I didn't like the way this looked. So it was kind of like all glass doors or no glass doors or all solid or whatever. But since we're not doing the extenders on the top, at least not yet, I thought maybe there was an option to do just solid doors on the sides because we wouldn't have that top row of all glass doors. Does this make any sense? Anyway, I spent hours in the little IKEA 3D modeling thing that they have on there to test all the different door versions, and ultimately we just ended up with more of what we already have. So it was all kind of a waste of time. Just depends on how much I need to hide in these cabinets and how much I want to have displayed. So for now, I'm going to just load back in the stuff that was already in there. And then I'm probably going to hold off until I'm done decluttering in here, or at least for a little while, or maybe I'll be able to tell once I start putting stuff away how much empty room I have, like especially down below, and then I'll make the decision on if I want glass doors or solid doors on the sides. So yeah, that's where we stand right now. So now it's time to put all of this mess away. So that is what happened. I started putting all my stuff back in the cabinets, and my things made the decision for me. I have way too much cool stuff. Basically is what it comes down to. And you'll see me start loading things into this cabinet, and then I completely start rearranging it because I'm like, why am I not just putting my Christmas stuff in here now? Because I'm going to be decorating for Christmas in the next step. So I do start throwing in my Christmas things. And once I start throwing in my Christmas things, I'm like, yes, please. I want more of this on display. I was also thinking, well, when Christmas is over, I'm going to want to put all my Catherine home in here on display. That's the stuff I had displayed on top of my hutch previously, and I want it all behind closed doors now so it doesn't get dusty.
Stop!
Of course, Brody had to pop his cute little head in there. So unless I committed to rotating all of my Pyrex out and hiding it all and then having sometime my Catherine home on display, it just wasn't all going to fit all at once if I only had those center 2 bookcases with glass doors on it. And the more I thought about it, the more I wanted display. The only thing I was worried about is that I have too much stuff in the kitchen overflow category, and I would be missing out on all of that closed storage because that seemed like a really nice thing to have all this extra closed storage for kitchen overflow. But then again, really, I got rid of so much kitchen stuff when we had to move out after the whole rat thing. I had to empty the kitchen completely out so they could clean it all and do repairs and all that. I got rid of so much stuff. So I was really analyzing it, being like, well, what really needs to go in here? And I am pretty confident I'm going to fit everything in those bottom cabinets, including all of the board games that were on that little rolling cart that I moved off to the right that has the snail habitat on it that you can see on the side of the screen here. All of the board games and maybe even some of the kids' Legos and stuff. I'm planning to put it in that lower section, and I think I'm going to have enough room for all of it, even with all of this display space. Now, as I'm loading everything in, the only problem I'm having is that I'm thinking I actually do still want the extenders on the top.
No? You don't like switch?
No, I like it. I just wish I had the top row. That's the only thing right now. So I feel like I'm
Running out of room already?
a little bit. Because I'm putting up my Christmas display right now. But it's okay. It's going to be fine. that was me half trying to talk myself into not wanting the extenders on the top, and also not wanting to tell Blake that after he just spent the time taking the extenders off and anchoring all of the bookcases to the studs, that I'm going to make him put all the extenders back on and redo the anchors to the top of the new pieces. I have not broken that news to him yet. Although the other day he did say he thinks it will look nice to have one more row up there of display. And he kind of was like, yeah, just go get it. So if he agrees to it, if I make him think that it was his own idea, then I think he's more likely to agree to help me add all the extenders to the top and anchor it into the wall. Again. Also, in the next episode, you're going to see us going to IKEA and looking at the doors in person, and I see a version there that has the little extender doors at the top, and it doesn't look as busy and bad as I thought it might look. That was the other thing. Like, yeah, the chandelier blocks it, but the more we've been living with it, the chandelier doesn't block the doors that bad. I'm kind of just trying to ignore the ugly chandelier that we cannot change. We cannot get our landlord to change it. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm not going to get up there on a gigantic ladder and get a little hook to try to center it perfectly. I'm just not going to do that because I'm afraid it's going to just rip out of the ceiling, and our landlord isn't going to do anything for us. Let's just be honest. We don't even want to ask them for anything, you know? So I'm just trying to ignore the chandelier, and it doesn't block stuff so bad. Like if you're sitting on the couch and enjoying the display, you could see the top row perfectly fine. The only time the chandelier blocks it is when you are standing up facing the cabinet at, the certain angle so that the chandelier blocks the top row. I mean, even at certain angles, it blocks what we already have. So it's not the worst thing in the world. The other part was that I just thought it would look too busy, but actually having everything matching and having it take up the whole wall, it almost looks like a built-in cabinet at this point, which you will see in the next episode. It's not going to be completely finished in this episode, but it almost looks built in, and with the extender, it will almost go all the way up to the top of the wall on the left-hand side where the ceiling starts to slope up, and I feel like it's just going to look really, really good. So I think we're probably going to end up getting the extenders and the little doors for the top, the little glass doors. And then I'll just have one more extra row to put my display, because I was also looking at what I had left and what I had to tuck away and hide away still. And once I take the Christmas stuff out and put all of the Catherine home in, I'm going to be running out of room again. And I really like having all my stuff out at once on display. And even though I decluttered a lot of it, I did take a lot of stuff from the hutch, the wooden hutch, like my Franciscan Starburst china that's off to the right hand side. I put all that in this cabinet. I put a lot of barware that I had in other parts of the house in this cabinet. So I'm kind of consolidating a lot of my collection into one place. And I think I want a little bit more display. It's not as busy as I thought it would be. In fact, I think it's really cool looking. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it, and this face I'm about to make is because I know that I'm going to have to be telling Blake eventually that we're going to be putting the extenders on, and I'm going to be spending more money at IKEA, and he's going to have to re-anchor everything to the studs, and I'm not looking forward to that conversation. But here's where we stand right now. I don't have all of my Christmas stuff in here yet. You'll see that in a future video, but I'm already absolutely loving it, so stick around for the next one. Bye, everyone.